Dear 12th class students, today's topic is invitations and replies. This is on page number 31 of your language skills book. What are invitations and how do you invite people and how do you reply these invitations? So, what are invitations? I'm sure you all know this, and I'm sure you might have invited so many times your friends, your relatives, or maybe sometimes your friend or relative invites you and you reply back, maybe sometimes in a positive manner and sometimes in a negative manner. So, basically, these invitations are just, we can say, a request or requesting someone to go with you or to join you in any event. So when you request other person to join you at any event, at your place, at your home, at any marriage ceremony, those are basically invitations. So maybe occasions may be like birthday, you have your birthday party and you request your friend to join you at your home, so you invite him. Maybe some parties for newborn babies, or maybe it's anniversary of your parents, or maybe anniversary of your other uncle, aunt, and then you decide of organizing any party and you invite your friends or relatives. You ask them, you request them to join you, to join them at your home. Or maybe sometimes the event may be of promotion, or maybe sometimes you get a job, or your friend or your sibling gets a job or any success in any field, then he invites you, then he asks you or requests you to join him at his home to celebrate this success. Or maybe sometimes farewell is being organized at your school, and you are being invited to attend the farewell. And maybe weddings, a wedding of your any sibling, and then he or she comes to your home or sends an invitation card, and then if you find you can go there, if you don't have any other thing to do on that particular day, you reply accordingly. Or if you have any other work on that day, you refuse, you reject that invitation accordingly. So maybe of weddings, the occasion may be engagement, job, any birthday party, anniversary, or maybe celebrations linked to any festivals like Eid we have, or maybe New Year party. So there are different occasions at our home, at school, where we invite or where we are invited by other people, and we either go there or we do not find time to go there, and then we reply accordingly. So we will learn how to invite, and then we will learn how to reply these invitations. So we can divide invitation in two types. We have formal invitations, we have informal invitations, and similarly we have then replies according to the situation. If we have formal invitation, then the reply will be formally, and if we have informal invitation, reply will be informal. So, formal situation can be anything like, for example, any organization invites its employees for any event which is going to take place in maybe next few days, or maybe it's in your office. Your boss invites you. Maybe it's about work, so you know them officially. But then we have informal situations, that means you know the person personally, so you send informal invitations to invitation to personally known people. So informal invitations, we use third person. So formal invitations are written in the third person. So then we use expression like is honored to extend or cordially invites you, or ABC is happy to invite. So then you write name of the invitee, like this means that the name of the person, the name, the person who, the person who actually extends the invitation, who is writing this invitation, he writes his own name, and this is generally in the beginning of the invitation. And then we have receiver's name. Then comes the receiver's name, the name of the person who is being invited. If there are less number of people, the name can be mentioned. You can mention the name if you are just inviting a single person. In case of a large number of people, in case you are inviting large number of people, you can write just you without mentioning all the names. You will just write this word you. So then you will write the occasion, whether this is the birthday party, whether it's annual day or marriage ceremony, anniversary. So you will mention the occasion why you are inviting, you will mention the occasion. Then you will write date, venue, time, and this date, venue, time should be clearly mentioned. So in case the party is being organized at some other place, maybe sometimes we do not organize party at our home, we organize it at any hotel, then you have to mention the complete address of the person, complete address of the place, along with the contact number. So everything has to be clearly mentioned. And then you will if some chief guests are to be invited in that occasion, you can write that too. Then we have this RSVP, which is basically short form of French phrase which means please respond or please reply. So you give extra details there. So in some formal invitation like the wedding invitation carry the expression RSVP. So as I told you, this is a French word and we use it. It means please reply, which means actually reply if you please, and then you give proper contact details. Then, if somebody has invited you for any occasion, you reply accordingly. If you are going to the event, you reply your this acceptance of this invitation. If you are not going there, you just decline the invitation. You just write the refusal, and then you are also supposed to mention the reason. So when you are writing this acceptance, when you are writing back, you use, what do you do? I will tell you the format later. Use the you first earlier you used to write the person who is inviting, and then we used to write about the occasion. We used to write we invite, and then we write about occasion, and then we write the person whom we are inviting, and then we mention the date and venue. But when we are replying back, we write first the other person's name who has invited us, then our name, then we talk about the occasion and we give the reason accordingly. So like we have this one, this is a formal invitation. Yes, this is a formal invitation. Go through it. Mr. and Mrs. Aslam cordially invites cordially invites Mr. and Mrs. Wali to. Why this is occasion is being mentioned here? So to celebrate the 25th birthday of their son Ali on. So the date is mentioned there, venue is mentioned there, time is mentioned there. So when you invite somebody, it's important you mention the date, time, and venue. the 25th birthday of their son Ali on 5th July 12 p.m. at their residence. And then you have mentioned the extra details where you have also mentioned the contact number. So you can write in a way, Mr. and Mrs. Aslam cordially invites Mr. and Mrs. Wali, or you can write, Mr. and Mrs. Aslam request the pleasure of your presence on the auspicious occasion of the 25th birthday of their son Ali on 5th July 12 p.m. at their residence. Then you mention the address. Then comes the reply. For example, this Mr. and Mrs. Aslam has invited this family, Wali's family. Then Mr. Wali is supposed to reply back to this invitation. So either he is going to reply in a positive manner, that means he's accepting their invitation, or maybe he is writing in a negative manner, that means he is going to decline that invitation. So this one is, for example, for accepting the invitation. So Mr. and Mrs. Wali thanks, so this will come first. Here we first have written the person who is inviting, then comes the person whom we are inviting, and here comes the person who was being invited. Mr. and Mrs. Wali thanks Mr. and Mrs. Aslam for their kind invitation on the occasion of 25th birthday of their son on 5th July at, so mentioned also date and venue, the occasion. And earlier we write the event was about the celebration, now he is thanking them, then we have mentioned thanks in place of invites. So then the venue is being given here on 5th July at 2 p.m. at their residence, and will be delighted to attend. It means he is, so they have also mentioned this, and will be delighted to attend it, and then given the address. So if, for example, Mr. and Mrs. Wali have some other thing to do on that very day, and so they have to mention the reason that they are not going to attend the, so they are giving the reason for not coming to that occasion. So they have mentioned that yes, they are mentioning the reason. So Mr. and Mrs. Wali thanks Mr. and Mrs. Aslam for their kind invitation on the occasion of 25th birthday of their son Ali on 5th July at 2 p.m. at their residence, and regrets their and regrets their inability to attend due to prior commitments. So they have mentioned the reason, and they have also declined or refused this invitation by mentioning the reason that they are busy somewhere else. So we write accordingly. Then this invitation can sometimes be printed on cards, or can be drafted in the form of social letter. So if you are asked to write the invitation letter, you write it in a different format. But if it's not mentioned there that you are supposed to write invitation in a format of, in letter format, then you will write this way. So just look here, invitation letter, this is also the formal, but the format is different here because this is letter, invitation letter format. So you are the secretary of the Old Students Association, Boys Higher Secondary School, Handwara. The 30th alumni meet will be held on Saturday 18th July 2 p.m. at the school. You are supposed to write invitation letter to all the students to attend the meet. So you will write this way, you will just write the address, old Boys Association, Boys Higher Secondary School, Handwara. Then you will mention the date. Then you will write salutation. You will write subject. This is about 30th alumni meet. Then you will talk about the content. The 30th annual meet at Boys Higher Secondary School, Handwara will be held on 18th July at 2 p.m. Old students are requested to come and make this event successful with their presence. Different programs being organized, and chief guest Mr. ABC is also invited to grace the occasion. Dinner will be served at 8 p.m. Please confirm your seats by sending mail to the undersigned. ABC Secretary, Old Association, Boys Higher Secondary, Handwara, and then the person has mentioned his email ID. So you have to remember whether you are asked to simply write the invitation, or you are asked to write a formal letter of invitation. So the format will be different. If you are simply asked to write the invitation, you will just do this way. If you are asked to write in a letter format, then you will write this way. So you are Ajay Mathur. This is one of the tasks that is prescribed in your book, Do at Your Home. You are Ajay Mathur, staying at 51B Apsara Apartments, Greater Kailash, New Delhi. You have recently been promoted to the rank of General Manager, Tata Motors. Draft an invitation inviting your friends for dinner at Taj Palace, SP Marg on July 2, 2005. So you will write this way, because you are supposed to just invite your friends to draft the invitation, simple invitation. So you are going to write in this way. So you will invite here, you will mention the occasion, you will mention the date, time, and venue, and you will mention the proper address. And then this task is there. You are Vivek Dhar, write a formal letter of acceptance. So this is like I told you, if the question is being asked, this will like write an invitation in a formal letter. So you will be writing this way. So write a formal letter of acceptance to a musical night organized by your neighbor Mr. Iqbal Rasool. Your address is 64 College Road, Bangalore. Using the same address and name, write a refusal to them. So first you have to write acceptance, then you have to write refusal, and in refusal you are supposed to mention the reason, like you have some other commitment, so that's why you cannot come there. So here you have to be very careful. You have to write in this format. You will write the address, you will write the salutation, you will write the date, and you will mention that yes, I will be coming to this musical night. I'm very happy, I'm very delighted to see your invitation. And then you will mention the address and all that, and you will mention the salutations also. And then you have to draft this another this is another reply, where you are supposed to mention the reason why you are not coming there. So you will write in the same way. You will mention the date, you will mention the address, you will mention the date, you will mention the salutation subject, and then you will mention the reason why you are not able to attend that party. So then we have informal invitations, and so this was about formal invitation. Now we have informal invitations and so in informal invitation and reply, you use same style and format, but you use first person or second person. And in informal, since the situation is informal, you are very free to express your feelings and emotions in informal situations. In informal invitations and as well as replies, you mention the address, you mention the salutation, you mention the date, and there are also two kinds of reply: acceptance and refusal. So informal invitations are like this way, like we have this letter format. So you write like these two samples are there. uh, Address is written here, date is written here, salutation is here. So then you have, I have, so the first person is being used here. I have come to know, and we do not use first person in formal invitation, we use third person there. So just keep in mind in this informal situation we use first person. I have come to know that you are visiting Delhi. Dear Somesh, I have come to know that you are visiting Delhi on 20th July after a long gap of 5 years. I would be really delighted if you pay us a visit and have dinner with us on 20th July at 8 p.m. Believe me, it would be a golden opportunity to renew our old ties and catch up with the past. Try your best to come. Your affectionately, Manas. So, address is written here, salutation is here, and date and venue is being mentioned here. And the person, Manas, has expressed his feelings very freely, that it would be a golden opportunity to renew our old ties and catch up with the past. So the person can express his feelings and emotions very freely in informal invitations. These are written in a letter format. So then we have reply. This Somesh is replying back to Manas. He has written the address, date, and salutation. Then he's writing again in first person. I was really delighted to receive your invitation for dinner on. Again, he's mentioning the date and venue. Believe me, I cannot wait to meet your family. So this informal kind of a language is being used here. I cannot wait to meet your family. I also wish to meet your parents, for whom I have their fondest regards. Looking forward to meeting you. Yours sincerely, Somesh. So then there are these tasks. You are Salma Sultan, staying at 25 Gulmarg Bagh, Srinagar. Your friend Farida has invited you for New Year celebration. So the occasion is New Year celebration. Your parents are not in favor of you are staying away late night, right? And informal. So you are being invited for this New Year celebration. Farida has invited you, but now you are not supposed to go there because your parents are not allowing you to go there. So you have to write the reason of this refusal. So you will just do this thing, you will just write a reply to, you will write a reply, and you will be mentioning, you will write the address, you will write the salutation, you will write the date, and then you will write in first person that I am glad that you invited me, something like that. You will frame your sentences. But due to some problem, I cannot come to your home because I'm not allowed to stay out uh, at late, uh, stay out from my home. So I am glad that you invited me. So you will frame your sentences accordingly, you will write the content accordingly, you will mention the reason of not going there. And the format, you have to be very careful about the format. You will mention the address, date, salutation, and you will close accordingly. Similarly, you are Dheeraj Verma, and you are invited to be a judge at an international school debate organized by Sunshine Public School, RK Puram, New Delhi. Your address is F5 Defense Colony, New Delhi. Draft a formal acceptance to the above invitation. So you are going to write this formal acceptance to the above invitation, and you will be writing about the occasion, about the venue, about the time, and then you will accordingly write. So just go through these formats, both these formal and informal invitations. Go through these formats and try to do these tasks at your home. Thank you.